Hello and welcome everyone. And sorry, I'm super thrilled to have you today. My name is Renji Mendoza, and I am your guide in this deep dive into the world of unseen opportunities and their impact on your business growth. So today we'll take a closer look at a topic that's often overlooked by many businesses, but yet it holds immense potential for your business. So we're talking about unseen, unheard, untapped, revealing the hidden losses in your business. So you see, in the hustle of running a business or a small business, it's super easy to miss the forest for the trees, right? We get so wrapped up in the day-to-day operations and tackling all the challenges that's right in front of us, and we often miss out on the hidden opportunities that's out there. And these are opportunities that they just pass right under our noses. They are noticed, unheard, and untapped, and can result in substantial revenue loss. And it's literally leaving money on the table, right, without even realizing it. So that's why it's extremely important for small businesses like yours and mine to pay more attention to these hidden opportunities, because once you start seeing them, you'll realize that they're not just occasional windfalls, right? This is a steady stream of potential that can drive your business forward and to the next level. So today, we're going to uncover these hidden losses. Okay, we're going to learn how to identify them, and most importantly, how to grab a hold of these opportunities to maximize your business growth. So if you're ready to explore these unseen, unheard, and untapped opportunities, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Okay. So as we delve deeper into this topic, it's essential that we understand a core principle that often acts as a roadblock to identifying these hidden opportunities. This is the principle of we don't know what we don't know. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. We don't know what we don't know. So in essence, this principle signifies our blind spots. And these are the areas of knowledge and potential that we aren't even aware that we're missing. So it's like driving a car, right? It's like driving a car with a blind spot. We don't realize there's a vehicle beside us until it's almost too late. Right? So when we apply this to business, this principle becomes the source of what we call an opportunity blindness. So just think about it. How many times have we all said, "Oh, I wish I knew this earlier," right? So this is a classic example of not knowing what we don't know. So opportunity blindness happens when we're unaware of potential growth avenues, right? Customer needs or market trends that are out there. It's like we're walking past a gold mine every day without even realizing what's beneath our feet. So let me tell you, this blindness can seriously hinder our business growth. In fact, the impact extends not just missed opportunities, but beyond missed opportunities. It can lead to poor decision making, wasted resources, and ultimately a slower pace of business success. And that's why it's hard to spot, right? Because while slow, we consider the small wins a success, right? So we just tend to ignore the blind spot because we're kind of, we're winning anyway, we're growing anyway, even though it's super slow, right? And we all have blind spots. But the first step to overcoming them is acknowledging that they exist. And that's why we're doing this live stream, right? There are blind spots. And once we do that, we can start learning, we can start exploring, and ultimately turning these hidden losses into significant gains for our business. So let's equip ourselves with the knowledge and tools so we can shine the light on these blind spots and seize the opportunities that are hiding within them. So let's go ahead and move forward. What I want to do right now is examine the real world impact of lost opportunities, because sometimes the best way to understand the weight of something is to see it in action, right? They're not just words that are coming out of my mouth, right? You want to see this in action. So let's take a look at a few examples of businesses that missed significant opportunities because of lack of awareness, because of these blind spots, right? Our first example is, and a lot of people are aware of this, so I'm just going to repeat it. Our first example is Blockbuster. So if you remember them, right? So they were once a giant in the movie rental industry. Everybody goes to Blockbuster, right? They had the opportunity to buy Netflix for, back then it was a mere what, $50 million, right? And this was back in the year 2000. So Netflix, right now a multi-billion-dollar streaming giant, right? But back then, Blockbuster was blind to the changing trends and potential of online streaming. So what happened? What's the result? All right, we all know what happened. We all know how the story ends. We don't see Blockbuster anymore, and now Netflix is the biggest thing, right? So that was a missed opportunity for them, because what's on their blind spot, they failed to see the trends that were happening at the time, right? One more example, Kodak, right? They invented the digital camera back in 1975, right? I didn't even know that there was a digital camera in 1975. But what happened was they failed to realize the potential, right? And they decided to stick to the film business. And this blindness to this groundbreaking technology led to their downfall when digital photography took over the market, right? And that's another blind spot that they fail to ignore. And these are huge companies, right? But sometimes it's the ego that's like, oh, we're huge, we're winning, we're the best. Those are the businesses that tend to ignore the blind spots. So what do these stories tell us, right? So these stories highlight the huge consequences of failing to identify and capitalize potential opportunities. I mean, if you look at both Blockbuster and Kodak, they had a chance to adapt. They had a chance to innovate. But their opportunity blindness led them down the path of non-existence, pretty much, right? So the lesson here for small businesses is clear, right? We must be proactive in spotting opportunities, even if they're like outside our field of view. So we need to continually question, we need to explore, we need to continually learn, we need to keep our fingers in the pulse of our industry, our customers, and even like societal trends that may not be related to business, because somewhat they're going to converge later, right? So we need to be aware of that. So remember, the opportunities we miss because we didn't know about them, we didn't know about those opportunities, they can just be as crucial than the ones we consciously chase. So the trick is to become aware, right? To stay curious and be ready to seize these hidden opportunities when they present themselves. So how do we do that, right? So we're going to move on to the next part. We're going to explore the practical side of things, right? One is online visibility. Right, let me just move my screen here. It's bugging me. Okay, so the importance of online visibility. So we've talked about the principle of we don't know what we don't know, right? And we've seen how overlooking unseen opportunities can lead to significant loss. Now, let's take this concept and apply it to a crucial aspect of business in today's digital age, right? Online visibility. So I'm going to ask you a simple question. How does your business show up in Google searches? Are you at the top of the search results, or do you find your business hidden away on the second or third page, or worse, not showing up at all, right? Because here's the thing. If you're not showing up in Google searches when potential customers are looking for the products or services that you offer, you are missing out. So these are opportunities that are slipping through your fingers, because let's face it, hardly anyone goes past the first page of search results. I never go to the second page unless I'm really, really desperate and the first page doesn't have what I'm looking for, then I would go to page 2. But most people, probably including you, don't really go to page 2, page 3. and go over the other choices. If there's one viable one that appears on the first page, right? So when you're visible online, especially on Google, you're opening up, or you're opening your business to a larger audience, right? People who are searching for what you can offer finds you very easily. And that's the first step towards gaining a new customer. Let them find you, right? But if you're not visible, you're practically invisible, not just to one person, but to a massive pool of potential customers. That's lost opportunity, right? Not just one or two. We're talking about hundreds or even thousands of potential customers, depending on your industry or your location, right? And this is why online visibility, especially being visible on Google, it's not just important, it is essential. It's no longer an option. Oh, it'd be nice to be on Google. No, you have to be visible on Google. It's no longer a nice to have, right? But it's a must have if you want to tap into these unseen opportunities. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I get it, but how do I improve my visibility on Google? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into next, right? Let's get practical and let's learn how to reveal these hidden opportunities, right? Now that we understand the importance of online visibility, we're going to get our hands a little dirty, right? Don't worry, this is all, we're talking about digital dirt, right? So there's no need to bust out the soap. So we're going to do a live exercise on keyword research. So keyword research is a powerful tool to identify exactly what your potential customers are searching for online. So it's like having a secret window into the mind of your audience. And it can help us gauge the volume of people actively looking for your business or services online. And the best part, we're going to be using a tool that's totally free, okay? And it's called UberSuggest. And this is just research, right? It's called UberSuggest. So let's get started. I'm gonna share my screen. Hang on, let me see, I hope I do this right. So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna share my screen, and you can follow along if you want. And just type UberSuggest, right? And that's the first thing that's gonna come up, free keyword research tool, okay? So click on it and you'll land on the homepage, okay? Yeah, it has, since it's free, it has all these like selling stuff, but whatever. So now in the search bar, we're gonna type a keyword, right? We're gonna type a keyword. What would people potentially search for if they are looking for you? So for example, let's say I'm a dentist and I live in Nashville, or actually no, we're gonna do it on the perspective of a consumer. So let's say I'm looking for a dentist. So I'm gonna type maybe Nashville, oh, if I can spell correctly, Nashville dentist. Okay, let's see what comes up. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So basically what this tells us, right? The numbers that's gonna come up here, this is this is the most important part, the search volume, right? Because what this is the average monthly search volume for the keyword Nashville dentist, right? So that means these are people who are looking for dentists in Nashville every month, right? This is a monthly volume. So that means there's 3,600 people every month looking for dentists, or maybe 3,600 searches. I couldn't say 100% if there are people, but there's 3,600 searches a month for a Nashville dentist. So now we have that number, right? What I would do is I would look at the number of calls, the number of emails, a number of inquiries that I get from potential customers. So let's say I'm only getting 360 calls, right? So that means I'm only getting 10% of the people that are looking for me as a dentist, or as a dentist in Nashville, right? So yeah, so that's 10%. So the big question is, what happened to the 90%? Did they just all of a sudden not need any more dental work? Did they just give up? Well, I think it's safe to assume that they went to your competitors. They went to my competitors. They went to other dentists in Nashville, because they certainly didn't knock on my door. They didn't. Those 3,600 people didn't call me or visited my website. So safe to assume they all went to my competitors, right? And which competitors, you may ask? Well, those are the competitors that show up or that showed up on Google's top 3, right? So what's Google's top 3? So let's do this in a practical way, right? Let's say I'm going to say Nashville. This is an actual search, dentist, right? So what's going to happen is Google's going to give you the top 3, right? Which is this one. So Nashville, Google decided, oh, somebody's looking for a dentist in Nashville. I'm going to show them these 3 people, or 3 Nashville dentists, right? Are they random, do you think? How did Google decide which ones to show, right? Well, we're going to dive deep into that. But what's most important is, let's say if you don't show up here, they probably went to Vitality Dental, right? I mean, if you were looking for a dentist and these are the first 3 options that you see, right? What do people look for? They look for reviews. They look for the number of review count and the average rating. So if I'm looking for a dentist, I'm going to bet money people will be inclined to click on Vitality Dental, right? So out of those 3,600 people that searched, 90% probably went here. I don't know. But is it safe to assume? Probably, right? So I hope you guys see what I mean here, right? We focus on the 360 people that knock on our doors, or the 10% that show up, that call us, go to our website. We focus on that because those are the people that we see. The 90% that end up going somewhere else, we don't see them. And that's the whole point, right? We don't know what we don't know. Because we don't know that, before doing this UberSuggest search, I guess I could say that, I didn't know that I was losing 90%, of those people. So now how do we translate that to numbers? So let's say if my average, I'm just going to guess, I'm going to guess I'm not a dentist, so I'm going to bust out my calculator, because I want to calculate how much money am I losing. Oh, what happened? Yeah, how much money am I losing for not... Hang on, I think my screen is acting up. Where's my calculator? Hold on. Pardon my... Yeah, okay, there you go. I didn't put up my... Okay, so, let's do the math, right? So I'm just going to throw a number out there. So let's say if an average spend of a dental visit, right? Let's just say, I don't know, $500. I don't know if I'm right. We're just going to say, you do your own numbers. You know your numbers, right? So $500, right? 500, actually, okay. So the 3,600, what's the 90% of the 3,600? 3,600 minus 360. Do your own math. So there's 3,240 potential customers that didn't contact me, right? Now, let's just say 10% of that, right? Let's just say very conservatively, I just want 10% of that 3,240. So let's just say 324, right? And let's say every patient spends $500. I don't know. So times $500, I just lost $162,000. Because doesn't that blow your mind, right? And this is something that's easily ignored because we don't see it. It's the blind spot, right? I'm going to do it here so you can see the math, right? So 324 people that didn't call me, didn't show up on my doorstep, right? And each of them will potentially pay $500 for the consultation, whatever dental visit. That's $162,000. And that's very conservative. We're only talking about 10% of those people, right? That didn't see me. I hope that blows your mind. because that is a missed opportunity. This is what I'm talking about. And it's easy to ignore, like I said, because we don't see it anyway, right? So that's just looking at it right now, okay? $162,000 worth of lost opportunities. Honestly, it makes me sick knowing that I threw $162,000 in the trash because I didn't pay attention to that important factor when people are searching for me, right? Sad. But anyway, I hope this exercise was eye-opening for you. Remember, let me put my face back here. Okay. Remember, those numbers represent real people searching for your services, right? That's not a guess. That those are based on Google queries, right? So they are real numbers or real people. So each one is a potential customer who might be going to your competition. It's not even like a might be. It's pretty clear. They are going to your competition simply because they don't know you exist. So it is a very sobering thought, isn't it? Right? But don't worry. There are practical strategies you can implement to better identify and capture these lost opportunities. And we're going to talk about a few. And this is the value that we're going to put out there, because hopefully you can use this right away, tomorrow, Monday, or even tonight, right? So first thing is we need to understand what Google looks at before it presents the search results. Because we were asking earlier, like, how does it know how to present the three, right? So we can guess how. Nobody really knows because Google is never going to share that, right? Because if Google shares why or how they do it, then everybody's just going to scramble, try to get to that first page. But it doesn't mean we can't get the data. So let's look into what Google looks at before it presents the search results. So there was a study. There was a study that I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. Okay, let me drink a glass of water. I'm all hyped up right now. There was a study conducted by Whitespark, and they're a local SEO marketing firm in Canada. So they did a study, right? Because again, Google is never going to tell you this until you do research. You have to do a study, you have to do focus, whatever, right? So they did this. They conducted a study that showed the top 20 factors that Google considers before it decides if it's going to show your business when people search for you through those keywords, right? So I'm going to show you these results. You can actually search for this yourself. Whitespark top 20 GMB conversion factors. GMB stands for Google My Business. You can see this. It's on the internet, so you can find it. So they did a study. I don't know the details of the study, but this is basically the results, right? So out of hundreds and hundreds of participants, this is basically what was deduced. These are the top 20 Google My Business conversion factors. These are the things that Google looks at on your Google My Business profile, or it's no longer called My Business, by the way. It's just called Google Business Profile. So I guess it's now GBP, whatever. So these are the 20 things that Google looks for before and ranks and before it decides, oh, I'm going to show this business, right? And let's look at it. I mean, we're not going to look at it one at a time, but I just want you to pay attention to some of them, because 9 out of these 20 factors is something you can implement as soon as we're done with this live stream. So pay close attention, okay? Number 7. Presence of owner responses to most reviews. This is something you can do right now, but do it later after this live stream. You have to respond to reviews. If you're not responding to reviews, then Google might rank you lower, right? Number 10, messaging feature is enabled. So if you go to your Google business profile, turn on messaging. Let people chat with you via Google My Business. If your cell phone number is connected there, it'll send it to your cell phone. So enable that. Let the people that see your business profile, let them reach you via messaging or chat, right? Number 12. What's number 12? Oh, okay. Comprehensive Google Q&A section, right? So there is a section there, if you pay attention, where you can create your own question and answer, right? Because if I'm searching a business and I have a question, instead of asking, I'm just going to look at the Q&A, see if the question's already been asked, the answer's there right away, whatever. So create a Q&A section there, right? It's not that difficult to implement. Number 13, primary Google My Business category. Make sure that the category that you put your business profile in is correct and it's relevant to these searches, right? Because if I'm a dentist and I put in there medical, right, then it's really not accurate. So make sure you can check on that right away. 14, proper hours set on GMB listing. So there's also a section there where you can put, sometimes people are lazy, they just put either open 24 hours or there's no time, right? Even if you're a service-based business that works from home, just put a time in there. It doesn't hurt. And Google looks into that. 15, number 15, presence of appointment URL, right? If somebody wants to book an appointment with you, how? Because most people, they don't really like calling, right? Okay, there's an appointment, I want to check. So I recommend set up Calendly, right? Or any online appointment service or tool and put the URL there. 18. What's 18? Okay, keywords in the GMB business title. So make sure that your keywords on the title of your business is relevant to the search. So for example, again, as an example, I'm a dentist in Nashville. I don't want to put on the title, I am the best tooth fixer in town. Although it's kind of accurate, but people don't search tooth fixer, right? They search dentist. So use the right keywords on your title. 19. What's 19? Frequency of Google posts posted. So there's actually a section in there where you can post updates, kind of like your Facebook updates, right? So put something in there. If you say, hey, I just got a new customer today, whatever it is, it doesn't matter as long as you're putting something on the posts. And 20 quantity of photos, right? So if you don't know, you can post photos on your Google listing. However you want to, if you have a logo or picture of your product, picture of your service, whatever it is, post it, right? Because based on this study, these are the factors that Google looks before it decides if you're relevant enough to show to the people, right, that were searching for you. So again, these are things that you can implement in 20 minutes after this webinar. Do it. Don't wait, because it's free. If you already have a Google Business Pro, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's going to improve your ranking. So if you didn't know about these at all, then that exactly proves the point of this live stream, is that we don't know what we don't know. But now we know, we have to take action, right? So do it. But before I remove this slide, I want to talk about the 4 out of the 5, or let's focus on the top 5 first, right? So this may not be something you can change overnight, but this is something you can start thinking about, right? Because this is what Google looks at the most, right? Obviously, it's top 5, so that means it's of higher importance than everything else, although that's not something you can implement right away. It takes time, but think about it now. But then we'll talk about 4 out of these 5 factors have something to do with your reviews, right? And again, reviews are important. Obviously, that's my specialty, so I'm going to talk about it. And the results, these results, and this is not me, right? Again, this is from Whitespark. That just proves the importance, right? So 4 out of the top 5 factors has something to do with your reviews, right? Number 1 is high numerical Google rating. So You got to have a high review. That's why when the one that we saw earlier, I don't know if you paid attention, the number one in the top three has a 4.9 average rating and 700 something reviews. Obviously, Google's going to show it because, hey, this dentist is relevant, right? Because people are posting reviews. So, number one. Number two is positive sentiment in review text, right? It looks at the words that the people put on your reviews and, and analyzes those words like great, excellent, I'm happy, right? Those are the positive sentiments that Google looks for. So it's not just getting a 5-star, it's the content of what your customers type in there as well. That's Google looks at. Number four, we're going to skip three. Number four is quantity of native Google reviews with text. So, right, not just the 4 or 5 stars, but how many, right? You can have 5 stars, but if you only have one review, then obviously that's going to be a 5-star. You got one very happy customer. Congratulations. Sorry, that was kind of snarky, but you know what I mean. So it's important to have a lot, like a quantity of Google reviews. That's also something that Google considers. And the recency is number 5. What was I going to ask you? How old is your most recent review? Because when you say recency, that's kind of subjective, right? But as of today, Google's definition of recent is about 7 to 10 days. So anything over, if you have a review that's over 2 weeks old, may be considered irrelevant. So recent is about 7 to 10 days. So look at your reviews and say, okay, how old is your most recent, right? And it's interesting seeing these numbers and seeing these studies because it's super important to understand that our reviews are not just for posterity. Yes, we flaunt it to tell people that, oh, how great we are, right? Or how great our service is, and these are the happy people that loved our service. So it's not just that. Your review count, average rating, recency, and overall customer sentiment on these reviews play a huge part on whether Google thinks your business is relevant, right? Because if there's one word that Google represents, it's all relevance, right? Everything that it's a hope for another conversation. Anyway, so again, these are the things that Google looks for. So now we know we can do something about it, right? And that's the first strategy, right? I know there's a lot. That's just the first strategy. Second strategy is staying informed about industry trends, right? Subscribe to industry newsletters, join relevant groups on social media. If you're in proof positive, obviously you've done the right thing because this is what we're going to talk about, social proof. So you can stay abreast of all these things, social proof related, right? Attend webinars and conferences. Basically we have to continuously educate ourselves so we can stay ahead of the game. Because the more you know about your industry, the better you can anticipate the shifts in demand and position yourself to take advantage of new opportunities. Because most of the time, we get caught up in running the core of our business, which is whatever skill you have, right, that you're monetizing. Thinking about market trends usually ends up lower on our priority list. So stay informed, right? So we all have that thing, the more you know, right? So finally, consider investing in SEO, right? This is a more advanced topic that we won't dive into today, but in a nutshell, SEO is all about improving your website's visibility on search engines. It involves optimizing your website content, your structure based on what Google favors, right? It's a long-term strategy. SEO is a long-term strategy, but you can have, or it can have a significant impact on your online visibility as well, and in turn, your ability to capture those unseen opportunities. And I know that this is a lot, but the goal here is not to overwhelm you, but to arm you with knowledge. So these aren't overnight fixes, but they are steps in the right direction, right? Steps toward shining a light on those unseen, unheard, and untapped opportunities. So as we wrap up this live stream, I want to take a moment to emphasize the importance of what we've covered today. Uh, the unseen, unheard, and untapped opportunities in your business have the potential to be game changers. Okay? Don't let the fear of the unknown stop you from exploring these possibilities. Remember, the first step is what? Awareness, right? And I believe that we've made significant strides towards that today. So I challenge each one of you to take what you've learned today and put it into practice. Start with regular keyword research, right? Do that exercise that we did earlier and look at the numbers, because once you see the numbers that are relevant to you, you will have that feeling. It's like, oh shoot, I am missing these, right? So start doing that, and also stay informed. Not just from here, there are a lot of other resources out there. I'm not a big SEO guy, so I don't really delve much into SEO. And I'm going to explain a little bit. The reason why is SEO is a long-term game, right? Which works long-term. For the past 13 or so, I've modeled my business to instant results. A lot of the stuff that I do, the services that I offer, is all about providing relevantly immediate results. So that's why I'm not into the SEO long-term game, because that's just not what I do. But you can consider investing on that as well. It doesn't hurt to have that in parallel to the stuff that we do on a quicker basis. And more importantly, maintain a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation. And why the reason you're here today is because of that. You're curious, right? You want to learn and you want to adapt. And that's what we do. That's what I do in my businesses. So that's how you turn unseen opportunities into tangible business growth, right? Now I know since this is a new group, I know there's not a lot of attendees in the beginning, but this live stream is going to stay evergreen, right? So you can watch this on replay. So we're not going to have questions. But if you're watching this on YouTube, because we also broadcast on YouTube, and I'm talking to you YouTube people, come join our Facebook group. Okay, so in this group, I provide other valuable tools outside of these weekly live streams. We do insights, workshops, discussions, and definitely more than just the weekly live stream. So to join, YouTube people, just go to socialproofstrategies.com and we'll approve you in the group right away. So we can start a conversation it's a collaborative group. It's brand new, but we are working on growing it so we can provide value to a lot more people. So go ahead and join us, socialproofstrategies.com. Again, thank you for all your time and attention today. It's been great. I enjoy these live streams, these conversations with you, and I hope you find it as valuable as I have. So remember, the journey of growth and improvement, it never ends, right? It's continuous. And today was just one step towards the right path. So let's keep moving forward together. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next video.